Hi guys, welcome to Milgat Farms. It's beautiful here on the farm. It feels like spring, but it's not quite spring yet. And we're gonna be making some maple syrup today. But before we do that, we gotta clean a couple things on the evaporator, and then we have to RO some water. And RO means reverse osmosis some water. So we're gonna do that here in just a few minutes. The reverse osmosis has been cleaning now for about an hour, and that is completed. The next thing we need to do is just kind of check things over and then work on the evaporator for a little bit. And we'll crank the evaporator up and we'll make some syrup and show you how we do it. In case you didn't know it, we are Virginia's only organic maple syrup producer or maple syrup farm. And there are a lot of farms here in Highland County that make maple syrup. We just happen to be the only one in Virginia who is certified USDA organic. Did you hear that? That's water coming in off the mountain. It's coming in at a pretty good clip too. So this is gonna be a good day for making syrup. Come along, let's see what we can get done today. A quick overview. This is big shiny thing. This is our evaporator. It's kind of shiny and sticky because we've been making a lot of syrup. This is our big tank here. This is our collection tank. And you can see right here that we have about just a little over half of the tank. You see it right here? That's our sight gauge. That's our sight gauge. We have another depth gauge up on top, but right here is where our sight gauge is. That's our concentrate tank up there. And that little small tank behind the mop, that is the extractor tank. And every couple of minutes, you're gonna hear it go off and it's gonna be dumping water. It gets pre-filtered into the big tank. This is our reverse osmosis room. This is our permeate tank. And right now, that thing is empty because we ran all the water out of it to clean, knowing that we're gonna have plenty of water to put back in it here in a little bit. So right now we got to change out the filters. I did not like that smell. No. We're not going to change those filters. We're going to use these for washing next time, but we're definitely not going to use them in the... So we're not going to change these filters out or replace what's in here with these. We typically will do that, but they smell a little funky. So we're not gonna do, we're gonna go with brand new filters on this one. Very easy to do, just like your house. All you do is drop the filter out of the container. We'll get a brand new one, put it right back in. And that's, you can tell that filter's been used for cleaning because it's really dirty. This is a brand new filter. All right. One filter. So we have two filters on this particular machine. I believe the new ones may have just one. Might be a big one, I'm not really sure. But on this machine we have two small filters. I think they're, I don't know, 3 or 4 inch by 20. We buy them by the case, typically a year or two in advance. You know, we find a sale, we'll buy a bunch of them. Okay. Those are ready to do the reverse osmosis process to the water. These dirty filters here will be used later to clean to do a soap cleaning. So guys, we didn't do this yesterday where we pulled off the RO hose and rinse it out. So we're gonna do that now with some hot water. This hose goes across the floor to the big tank. And that's where it dumps, where it comes from. So this hose goes across the floor from the RO room over to the big tank. And what we're gonna do is put hot water in it. Oops, let me put this hose in here before I get it all over my face. We're gonna let it fill all the way up. Then we're gonna raise the hose up off the ground. And what that's gonna do is force all the water in the hose back out of the hose and rinse it out. It doesn't have to be perfect between every single batch, but it is important to get the old sap or sweet water out of it every time. About a couple times in the season, we'll pull the hose, run bleach through it, and then wash it out with really, really hot water. But we don't have to do that today because it's been fairly clean. Now I feel my hose here getting a little soft, and what that means is we got hot water coming through. Yep, that's plenty of hot water. This guy on the ground, and all I'm going to do is lift the hose up until I get to the other side. In order to connect the hose back, all this is basically a quick coupling. So we just push it on, put both the levers down, and it's solid. We're going to do the same to the other side. In order to get the RO water to come across, we're going to open up this gate valve and step back so we don't get soaked. A lot of times that water will jump up and down, come out the top. And we got more water coming in. That's pretty cool. So now we come into this room here. We got to open up the valve right here. Actually, going to wait a minute. We're going to go. Before we do this, we need to shut the valve on the concentrate tank so we don't lose any of the concentrate. Yep. See it? It's all gurgling up and down. Ah, that's annoying. Okay. So that thing is closed. Make sure the top is closed. All of our valves are closed. That's a good thing. So now, all our valves are closed. Now we're going to go over to the RO and set it up to start accepting water or pulling water in. So right down here, pull the valve. Oops, that's a bad idea. Wrong way. That's funny. That was empty just a minute ago, and it just blew that much water into here. Buggers. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Ah, I got to get that out. Darn it. I got to... Blah. Shut that valve. Open this valve. So I shut that valve, open that valve. All the water's going to drain out over there. Now, we just introduced sap to this tank, so I'm going to get a hose and rinse it out. This is our permeate tank right here, so when the reverse osmosis does what it's supposed to do and splits the water, this is the clean water. As in a home system, that'd be the water you drink. What we're looking for is that concentrate of sugar and minerals, and the concentrate goes above the big tank. So what I'm doing is I'm just rinsing this out because I don't want any kind of sap in here. So we're going to let that drain completely out, and then we're going to shut the valve off and then start the RO and RO the sweet water or the sap that's coming in. Turn off the valve to the permeate tank so nothing's going that direction. Turn on the valve to the RO. Now we need to set the RO up and then turn it on. What for about that? When we initially turn this on and there are bubbles inside, when we turn our second stage on, it will shut off. Right now, it's running pretty good. We need to dial it in a little better. just about 1 minute, when the timer goes off, we're gonna send it up to the concentrate tank where that's what we're gonna boil with. Now you might hear it, the water's coming in. Let me show you. You see all that water right there? So this machine's gonna process 1,200 gallons an hour. And a portion of that water, 2 gallons for every minute, is gonna land up in the small tank. I'll show you that in just a minute. So although we're gonna process about 1,200 gallons an hour, we're only gonna keep approximately 120 gallons a minute. No, that's not right. We're gonna keep 2 gallons a minute, which is 120 gallons an hour, for our concentrate. And that's gonna give us a fairly sweet concentrate. This is the concentrate right here. At this point in time, it's not quite sweet, but it's not far from it. So as the machine is going to get ready, so as the machine continues to process this and get all stable, get stabilized, I guess, then the sugar content that's coming out of it is going to increase. And we're going to hover somewhere around 10 bricks, or that's approximately 10%. We use the bricks scale here on the farm, so we know that the water comes in around 1 to 1.5 bricks, and we push it up to about 9 to 10 bricks on the first pass. On our second pass, we take it up to about 15 bricks. And that is awesome, let me tell you, because it reduces the amount of boil time necessary in the big shiny thing. And the big shiny thing is right here. So we're standing right now on the top of the big tank. And this is our big tank right here. And the water's coming in, you can see it right here. So the water's coming in, and really you can see it inside of here. So now it's about the dumps. That goes out, the float closes back off, vacuum remains on the system, and now the water's just coming in strong. Today's a good water day, and we're probably gonna fill this tank up. Well, we're not far. We were 3/4 when we started, and it's a good chance that we're gonna fill this tank up, let's say in 3 hours. But because we're gonna reverse osmosis that water, or RO that water, it's going to not completely fill up, and at some point, we're gonna overcome the tank. In other words, use everything out of the tank, put it into our concentrate tank. We might do some recirculation in order to boost that sugar content, but towards the end of the day, we're gonna have already completed the reverse osmosis on all the water in the tank. We'll rinse it out, and then we'll start over again collecting water. So as you can see, we got some water in here. We effectively could start boiling, but we're not quite ready to do that yet. We still have a few things we need to do in the evaporator, which is the big shiny thing. It is always windy here, always windy. Look back here. Take a look back here, guys. Isn't that a beautiful sky? Wow. So today ended up being a little bit of a challenge in the sugar barn. I lost some water by making a mistake when I left the drain open, and we lost a lot of water. We were able to make 15 gallons, probably a little bit more, but we put it back in the evaporator. We'll get it out tomorrow. But the evaporator and the tanks are all clean. And overall, it was a great day. My neighbor Boyd came over to hang out, and that was a lot of fun. There you go, maybe that works. I'm a little closer. So I'm close to the side-by-side, so maybe you can hear me now. What a good day today, guys. Did you see that? You see the sunset? Oh, isn't that gorgeous? My neighbor Boyd came over and hung out with me today. It was a lot of fun just talking to him. He was a Marine just like I am, or he is a Marine just like I am. We served about the same time, him a little bit before me. And he actually went to school with my sister, or was at school at MCV when my sister was there. How neat is that? They knew each other when they were in PT school. He was an occupational therapist and she was a physical therapist. Anyway, guys, we had a good time in the barn. Had a little challenge with the water. I let a drain go, lost a lot of water, but we're still able to make some syrup. And that's good. It's a good day. So every now and again you have a challenge, and instead of dwelling on them, we're just gonna look forward because we know that God's gonna provide for us. Right now, it's time to get the eggs in and go to bed. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I want to say thanks for watching our videos. I'd say thumbs up, but my hands are full. But you know what that looks like. So consider giving us that thumbs up. And if you ever want to come out and visit or stay in our B&B, go to mailcatfarms.com. And until next time, guys, God bless you.